Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Deuteronomy, the 29th chapter. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord Yahweh commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. So in addition to the covenant we already made with the Lord in Horeb, there was another one here made in Moab. And Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, because remember, the one in Horeb was with the older generation. This was with the newer ones, after the older ones had died off. And Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, Ye have seen all that the Lord Yahweh did before your eyes in the land of Egypt unto Pharaoh, and unto all his servants, and unto all his land. The great temptation which thine eyes have seen, the signs, and those great miracles. And when you go into that word temptations, right, Masa, it says despair, test, trials. Okay, so the trials and burdens that the Lord brought, during the time of Egypt, we witnessed that, right? The signs and the miracles, the plagues. Yet the Lord Yahweh hath not given you an heart to perceive, and eyes to see, and ears to hear on to this day. So even though you've witnessed all that, still the Lord hasn't opened up your minds. He hasn't given you that right heart and eyes to see and hear onto righteousness, meaning that you still have rebellion, all right, and disobedience within your hearts. And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are not waxing old upon you, and thy shoe is not waxing old upon thy foot. Meaning your clothing didn't get old, it didn't get moth-eaten, it didn't just rip and all of that. Neither did your shoes. Everything was preserved. Ye have not eaten bread, neither have ye drunk wine or strong drink, that ye might know that I am the Lord Yahweh your God. And what the Lord is saying here is that, remember, Israel in the wilderness didn't eat regular bread or wine, right, of the vine and so on. We didn't have that. We had manna. And what the Lord is saying here is that you didn't have any of those, right, but you survived. I sustained you with manna. I still fed you, even though you didn't have bread and you didn't have wine. And by bread, I'm talking about like the fruit of the land, of the field. But yet I sustained you, so that to the point that you would know, right, that I am the Lord your God, who protects you, who guards you, who takes care of you. And when you came on to this place, Sihon, the king of Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, came out against us onto battle, and we smote them. And we took their land and gave it for an inheritance unto the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to the half tribe of Manasseh. Keep therefore the words of this covenant, and do them, that ye may prosper in all that ye do. Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. Right? That's dealing with, once again, those that mixed multitude that came out with us, okay, which became basically servants unto us, right? Hewers, as it says here, the hewers of our wood and drawers of our water, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Lord Yahweh thy God. That's referring to us, okay? The covenant was referring to us as Israelites. It says here, and into his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, that he may be unto thee a God, as he hath said unto thee, and as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord Yahweh our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day. right? So basically, the Lord, Moses is saying here, this covenant the Lord is making is not just with you, okay? It's with those of you that are here and also those that are not here, i.e. the future generations to come. This still applies to all of you. For ye know how we have dwelt in the land of Egypt, and how we came through the nations which ye passed by, right? The Moab and Edom and all that. And what it means is through the land by which we came by. Because we did buy of them water and food, right? And ye have seen their abominations and their idols, wood and stone, silver and gold, which were among them. Lest there should be among you man or woman, or family or tribe, whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord Yahweh our God, to go and serve the gods of these nations. Lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood. Okay, so basically, as Moses is saying, I'm making this covenant with you to avoid any of you, bearing or having within you a root, which is that starting point, okay, of deception, of wickedness, that eventually spreads, it grows, and then it bears, right, gall and wormwood, meaning the actions that come forth is gall, like poison, and wormwood, right, bitterness. And that would be by way of said man, woman, or family or tribe turning aside and going to serve these idols, because that would bring upon you destruction. And it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, meaning this wicked individual hears this curse, the word of this curse, and they convince themselves, okay, in their heart, in their mind, that, oh no, I'm going to be fine anyway, right? Saying, I shall have peace. Though, right, they basically talk themselves into thinking that, oh, I'm part of this covenant, but it's all right, right? I could do whatever I want. I'm gonna still be good. That's what it means, that he hears it. He hears the curse, right? But blesses himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of mine heart. To add drunkenness to thirst, which is a idiom, right? An idiom of like saying to make matters worse, right? To make a bad situation worse. Or it's like saying to pour a gasoline on fire, right? Or, you get the saying. The Lord will not spare him, but then the anger of the Lord and his jealousy shall smoke against that man, and all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him. And the Lord shall blot out his name from under heaven. So the Lord is not going to spare him. His anger will be kindled against him. He's going to bring the curses written in this book upon him. And as it says, the Lord shall blot out his name from under heaven. Okay, meaning that the Lord is going, because where's under heaven? Earth. So blotting out his name, meaning he's going to eliminate him. He's going to unalive him. Because if his name is among the living, then he's alive. If it's blotted out, then he's dead. It doesn't mean the Lord is going to make him cease to exist, because then how would the saying, all Israel shall be saved, come to pass? Because you have Israelites that are guilty of this, but they'll still be there. They'll still come back. They're just going to die as judgment. And that's what it means by their name being blotted out from under heaven. And the Lord shall separate him unto evil out of all the tribes of Israel. So the Lord's going to set him apart, reserve him unto judgment, unto evil, unto a bad time, according to all the curses of the covenant which are written in the book of this law, right? So the penalty of breaking this covenant, the curses, the Lord would apply to him, whichever the Lord sees sufficient. So that the generation that come of your children that shall rise up after you, and the stranger that shall come from a far land shall say, when they see the plagues of that land, and the sicknesses which the Lord hath laid upon it. So if any one of you decide to go astray, the Lord is going to plague you so bad that your future generations, or any stranger that comes to your land, is going to see these plagues, right? It says here, and that the whole land thereof is brimstone and salt and burning, that it is not sown, nor beareth, nor any grass groweth thereon. So it becomes like a wasteland, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zeboim, which the Lord overthrew in his anger and his wrath. Even all nations shall say, wherefore hath the Lord done thus unto this land? Why has the Lord, completely, wasted this land so badly? What meaneth the heat of this great anger? What could have possibly caused him to do such a thing? Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord, God of their fathers, which he made with them, when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. For they went and served other gods, and worshipped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. See? So the reason is because they went into idolatry. They went and started to worship other gods, whom the Most High, their God, didn't, they didn't grow up with these gods. These are idols. The Lord didn't command them to go and worship them, but they went and did. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. So that's what people will say. If you disobey the Lord, that's how bad he's going to plague you, that people are going to ask in the future, wow, why? Just why? What happened? And the response is going to be, yep, that's what happens because they disobeyed their God. Verse 28, and the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this day. The secret thing, so basically, that's going to be the response, right? That this is the transgression they did, and this is what the Lord, their God, did to them, and this is why they've been rooted out of the land, and now they're in, serving captivity elsewhere. The secret things belong unto the Lord our God, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever. So the things, right, the secret things, that's fine. That belongs to the Lord. The things that are not revealed to us, that belongs to the Lord. But the ones he has revealed to us in relation or in terms of what we have to do, the services we have to do, the ways to serve him and follow him that he has revealed to us, that belongs to us, meaning we're accountable for that. We're responsible for honoring that. As it says, that we may do all the words of this law. That's why he revealed it to us. And once it's been revealed to us, we have a duty to uphold it, lest we incur the Lord's wrath. And that brings us to the end of the book of Deuteronomy, the 29th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.